Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Season 8 of Trinity Competitive Racing's Golden Class. My name is Harrison, alongside me today is Caleb, and we are here to bring you the Singapore GP. Tonight we're going to witness the talented field of Golden Class drivers maneuver their way along the tight streets of a Singapore night. And Caleb, today is looking up to be a very, very fascinating race, if I do say so myself.
I do think it will also be.
So going into this race today, after Belgium last week, we saw Premium 67 Grape come home to take the victory, if my game can go over to him. So he is your last week's race winner and the weekend before that, so let's see if he can carry his momentum for maybe a hat trick in this Golden Class season. The official, if you give me a second, the official points going into the race are the following. So, in terms of the Drivers' Championship, like I said, last week's race winner, Premium Grape, is leading the championship on 58 points, with Sequit, last week's runner-up in the Mercedes, on 43 points. Then Special OPS has 34 points in third, followed by Coleman in fourth with 28 points, Swarner in fifth with 24 points, Airborne Tiger in sixth with 18 points. Him and the other Renault behind his Renault teammate of Swarner. Those two definitely looking to make inroads on the drivers in front. Then tied for seventh, we have Dre Diggy and Failed UX both on 17 points. And then in ninth place, we have D'Angelo with 15 points. Akio in 10th place, Kitten Petter in 11th place, and he's actually tied for 11th place with D-Crime, both on 12 points. Grasa in 13th place, W 14th, Mojo's Fly 15th, and then, with no points the entire season, Ultimate Gamers, Mr. Clueless, Woodsy Boy, Frost Hacker, and Norton all have 0 points, unfortunately, for this season. Looking at the Constructors' Battle, going into this race, Toro Rosso leads the Constructors' fight, mainly due to Premium Grape's spectacular efforts, as they hold 72 points. Wow, 72 points after last week's win in Belgium. Mercedes, headed by Sequit himself, are on 43 points, so they're actually getting close to almost double the points behind Toro Rosso. So Mercedes definitely at the step of their game if they want to put up a challenge title fight. Meanwhile, W 136.4 is P1 at the moment. Then in third place we have the Renault pairing of Airborne Tiger and Swarner. Fourth, we have the Haas F1 team. Fifth, we have Alfa Romeo. Sixth, we have Williams. Seventh, Racing Point. Eighth, Ferrari. Ninth, McLaren. And in last place, with only 8 points, we have Red Bull. So, going into this race, what do you think is going to be the podium, potentially? Or actually, we'll talk about the race later. Who do you think has the best shot for pole today, in your opinion?
Me?
Yes.
Personally, I do think that one of the two Renault drivers will take the pole, because as of right now, funny enough, Airborne Tiger and W have tied. They have the same exact lap time. I don't know if that's a bug on my end, but
yes, they do actually have the same exact lap time.
So I do not know if no one beats that who gets pole. I'm assuming W, but I think Swarner could come in if he does even go a lap on the softs, because he is on the mediums as of right now.
Well, actually, if you are on lap time, the driver who set a time first is given the spot in front, because it's considered that they set that time on slower track conditions. However, I would like to point out that we have a whole bunch of mixed strategies going into this race, with some drivers trying their luck out on the medium tires, while others, including our championship leader, Premium Grape himself, opting to qualify on the soft compound going into this race.
Now, one thing to keep in mind, stream, is that there is going to be rain approximately 45 minutes into the race. One of my buddies said he thinks that'd be like around lap 25 near the very end. So that will throw a little strategy in there. If they can make these medium stretch 25 laps, which I don't think they can do around this circuit, but if they could somehow, that could be really good in their strategy pace.
Meanwhile, we have someone just crashed out. I saw on my screen. Ultimate Gamers, I believe. I know. I'm sorry. We saw Grasa. Yeah, we saw Grasa spin out there. However, I also believe Ultimate Gamer is retired. So again, Red Bull drivers, last in the constructors so far, are not delivering when they need to, unfortunately. So that's going to make their race so much more harder. Now, going into this race, the one thing you folks have to keep in mind is that this is a race of attrition. This is a grueling, and I mean grueling, 33-lap race. 33-lap night race, I might add. In this track, there is absolutely no margin for error. We've been talking about how this is possibly the second hardest track the drivers face on the calendar, bar Monaco. But every single part of this track you have to be pinpoint precise in order to extract the most amount of lap time. However, if you're not pinpoint precise and go over the limit, you're in the wall and your race is over. So look for these drivers to have to battle a very hard track tonight as we prepare for this GP.
One thing I do want to say is that Darkest Crime is coming up on the end of his lap. He has been looking pretty clean. I've been watching this whole lap. He's coming around the final turn right now. Gets a good turn on there. Good exit. Hits the DRS. And he got the pole. How did I know? I could just kind of tell that he was going pretty quick on that lap.
1:36.1, over 3/10 faster than his teammate W in second place. I feel like he's pretty happy with that lap, but we will see. I'm not quite sure if he has time to come back into the pits and strap on a new set of boots. I believe he does, but he has to get a bit of a move on right here in order to get back to the pits.
One thing to keep in mind is he is lagging a little bit because he did ask before the race if he could restart his router, but he didn't do it soon enough. So he might be lagging a little bit during the race, but that's just one thing that hopefully he does not cause any wrecks because of it.
Meanwhile, let's ride on board with Special OPS here as he makes his attempt for pole position. Going down the front straight here, well, sort of front straight, into 7th gear. He's going to brake at the 50-meter board going into turn 5. Clip the apex. Ooh, loosen the car a little bit on exit. That's going to wipe off tons of time as he then barrels his way towards Sector 2 of this track. A little bit of a kink corner here, and he runs wide. That's not the line you want to take. He runs wide going to that corner and gets close to the outside wall. But here we go, into the heart of Sector 2. This is a really tight section of the track, and you have to be pinpoint accurate to extract the most amount of time. Getting on that curb right there, possibly losing him a bit of speed as you do lose momentum through that corner.
So he is now going down a long straight. He's in 6th gear. We'll probably pop it into 7th. He does right at the end. Goes down into 2nd gear. Catches the curve pretty well. Oh, he got a slow exit off of there. Does not get the preferred line, but he is going around to the right-hander now. Goes down into 3rd gear. Gets a decent amount of curve. Goes down to the left-hander. Gets no curve at all. Gets a pretty good exit there. Not a bad turn by him. But he is looking like a pretty good lap other than when he lost it and locked up a tad bit. Oh, he gets a little loose there. Maybe taps the wall. Going on the chicane right now. He is going to go down in the final turn of the race, and he pulls in.
Yeah, he was not happy with that lap there, so I think he abandoned it. Meanwhile, Sequit, P2 on the medium compound tires, only 3/10 off T-Crime on a tire that, to be honest with you, is almost a lap slower. It's an absolutely splendid time from Sequit there on the medium compound. Let's see what he can do in the race. I think he's definitely hoping for the win tonight, especially if he wants to put a real title challenge onto his rival of Premium Grape. But we will see. Premium Grape, I think, is committed to the soft tire strategy. However, I think he is. He's on the soft tires now, so Premium Grape...
He is going to go for another lap.
Yeah, Premium Grape and Sequit are both going to be doing this alternate strategy tonight, so that's going to be very interesting to see how it's going to play out. Meanwhile, very close to the end of qualifying here. As only a couple more minutes left, and everyone looking to set one more lap before the session's over. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
So one thing I'm noticing right now is that the drivers are all basically going for the same strategy. There's a select few like Sequit and Special OPS and Swerner going for that medium, but a lot of the drivers are going to go for those softs. Oh, and Swerner is doing an outlap on his softs. So it looks like he's going to go for maybe a faster lap. If the pace is a second slower on the softs, you can predictably get 136.6. So that will not be the greatest.
Well, if you want my opinion, what I think these drivers are trying to do is, we did mention that towards the end of the race there should be rain. So normally, for those of you who don't know, a mediums to hard strategy is the strategy you want to be on here, because the soft tires are not only 2 compounds softer, but they also wear tremendously fast, and even if you keep them in the right window, Singapore is notorious for overheating temperatures. So I think what they're trying to do is because the rain is going to come at the end, I think the drivers think that, it's alright for them to pit earlier and maybe not be able to make it to the end on the hard tires, because they won't have to anyways, because the rain's going to come. So it'll be quite interesting to see. As meanwhile, we're going to watch some drivers as they finish their laps. As qualifying, I believe, is now 1 minute remaining in qualifying.
Swarner is going down the long straight right now, going into the right-hander, jumping in down to third gear. He's going, it looks like a pretty good lap. I've not seen him lock up or lose the back end yet. So if he can keep this up, he will probably make the top 5. Maybe get in front of Premium Grape. He's going down, goes down to the 4th gear, 3rd gear, catches a little bit of the curb. Good exit by him, no loose. And he's going around to the right-hander, doesn't hit any of the curb. Good exit. Looks like the preferred line. Shifts up a little late though. Shifts down. Oh, good exit by him. He's going down the long straight now. He's going to probably kick it up into overtake. He's going to go to the left-hander now. Catches a bit of curb, but keeps it straight on track. As you guys can see, he's liking him to get a bit of curve. It's helping him get through the turns. But he's going down to the left-hander right now. No lockups so far, I don't think. Gets a good exit. Going down the long straightaway.
And yeah, Swarner, let's see if he can carry his momentum to the third sector. That's what the third sector is all about, is carrying your momentum as you tackle the tough corners of Singapore. A lot of right, lefts, 90-degree angles, and here we go. Into this series of corners again. You want to make sure that through this corner you're getting a maximum exit because it is a bit of a straight, and then very tight corner, very small margin of error underneath the tunnel. A little bit of a throw in the car to the right, tossing it right, tossing it left, 4th gear, 5th gear, 6th gear as he goes toward the final corner, throwing the car in as fast as possible, accelerating off the line. What can Swarner go? And he goes pole position with the 135.9 on the soft compounds. This is provisional pull as D-Crime has yet to set a lap, along with Special OPS, Clueless, and Failed UX. But what a spectacular lap for Swarner to put him on pole and W into the wall on those tires. You know what that means? Hold on a second, I want to see something. I think the W just played the absolute card of a century because he set his lap on those set of tires. And if he's crashing those tires, that means that he has to start in a different set of tires, and park firmware doesn't apply. So I think W has thrown us all for a loop here, and he'll be able to start on the medium compound tire. So very interesting from W. I'm not quite sure if that's allowed, but quite interesting thing to see. Meanwhile, D-Crime is going to be coming to the line now to finish his lap. What can he do? And he goes only second. Oh, wow. Look at the margins there. 3 1/1000ths of a second separate those two for that position. Meanwhile, 2 drivers left to finish. Oh, Failed UX is backed off, but Dre Diggy still, I think he's backed off as well. He might still be on a lap. Yeah, it looks like he's backed off as well. 0 ERS. So it looks like that this is going to be the grid starting of the Singapore GP. Caleb, would you like to give me a grid rundown?
So far we have Swarner P1, D-Crime P2, Sequit P3, WP4, Airborne Tiger P5, Premium 67 Grape P6, Mr. Clues P7, D'Angelo P8, Special OPS P9, Kitten Patter P10, Woodsy Boy P11, Failed UX P12, Dre Diggy P13, Coleman P14, Ultimate Gamers P15, Gracia P16, and Red Wing Racing P17.
Very interesting grid for the start. So Swarner is going to be leading the grid along with the Ferrari of D-Crime. Again, both setting their laps on the soft tires. However, Premium Grapes only in 6th place on that soft compound. I wonder if he made a mistake in qualifying. Sequit, however, he's the one to watch because he is on the medium compound tire. So it'll be quite interesting to see.
Darkest Crime saying right now that someone's AI may have slowed his lap down a little bit, so that may suck for him. But he's still got a really good lap time, getting P2 by 0.03 of a second.
Yeah, and meanwhile, as we look at this grid, yeah, wow, 3 1/1000ths of a second separate D-Crime and Swarner. So basically identical pace there. It's just a matter of one tiny millimeter, you know, in a couple areas of the track. That's what's separating those two drivers, nothing more. Again, my contender for the win today, actually, let's go over this. Sequit 100% is my man to win the race today. I think his strategy of going from mediums to hards is going to be the strategy that's going to give him the win today. It's all about the start, however. He has to make sure that he gets a nice start off the line and make sure that he can hopefully jump one of the, or either the Ferrari or the Renault into turn 1.
Now, Premium 67 grip, even though he has some wins under his belt, maybe that's not because he's so quick. Maybe he just has the strategy. Like, he can play smart when everyone else is getting damaged, and he might be able to last longer than everyone else. So he could still get the win. So who's your top three for this race?
I have to go Sequit, Premium Grape, and the man, the myth, the legend himself, D Crime. That's my top three for today's race. Simply down to the fact that Sequit has the better strategy, in my opinion. Because one thing you have to remember, folks, is I did mention that overheating will be an issue. Well, after 3 laps, believe it or not, those soft tires are pretty much dead. In terms of overheating and keeping those cars in a good operating window, those soft tires can only last a few laps, especially after pushing them through a full qualifying session. So, if you want my opinion, Sequit on for the win, Premium Grape in second, simply because I think he has the race pace to get it done. And I feel like D Crime starting on starting on the second row of the grid. I feel like he has a lot of confidence going into this one, and if he can just drive a mistake-free race, I think that it's his race to lose as well.
Drop your guys' race predictions in the comments below. We would like to see what you guys think and what kind of people you think will be at the top. There's a lot of Sequit people out there. It's like 3 or 4 out there saying that Sequit's going to get the win. So there's a lot of people hoping that pull us out.
So, like you said, everyone make their votes for their podium predictions today. If you're right, you know what? You get a cookie and a medal. So that's what you folks are playing for today. And yeah, we will definitely see going into this one.
Well, while we are in this formation lap, though, I will go ahead and say the results from the silver class race of last night. Let me pull it up real quick. Last night at Singapore round 4, Enya P1, Flying Jippo P2, Bam Bam P3, Chargers 1000 P4, Pedar Payton P5, Lando Mando P6, Lucking Up P7, Case in Your Face P8, Sick and Destroy P9, and Kelly 540 Edge P10. That's the top 10 from last night.
We have a lot of Sequit supporters in the comments. I'm just going to read some of these real quick because I think they're very funny. So we have, he's got that hashtag Sequit, go Sequit, Sequit gonna win, boys, Sequit, Sequit, Sequit. So a lot of Sequit supporters, and I'm actually riding the Sequit train tonight as well, in terms of who I think is going to win. But again, as a commentator, I'm supposed to be impartial, even though, in my opinion, that's an impossible task. But anyways, as we are entering the third sector on the formation lap, nerves is what these drivers are experiencing, and that's the number one game to racing, is calming those nerves.
One thing I would like to say is Renault, Joey2J in the comments saying another Renault pole this week. That is a good thing to point out. Swerner has gotten back-to-back poles, so he has the pace. It's just if he can stay in there. Like last week, if you guys remember, he did T-bone someone that had spun in front of him, and that really screwed up his race, if I'm being honest.
So now we wait as the cars form up on the grid, and everyone trying to make sure their tires are in an optimal window. I'm telling you, those soft runners, they better make sure those tires are as cold as possible, because they are about to get crazy wacky. You know, it's going to turn on some lap data, turn on the telemetry, interval gap for sure. Detail will, let's do position change for the start. Just to see how it is. Anyway, I'm going to do tires real quick. Like we said, top 10 all on soft. Everyone else opting for the medium compound tire. But here we go, as the drivers rev their engines for the start of this race. Let's see what happens. 1 red light, 2 red lights, 3, 4, 5 red lights facing the drivers of the Singapore GP. And we are off, as it looks like the Renault so far getting a pretty good start on D-Crime. However, D-Crime is going to be at his corner panel going to turn 1. D-Crime sends it up the inside. He does force Swarner a little bit wide, but D-Crime and Swarner going side by side for P1 in the race as we go down the rest of the field. Looks like it's pretty clean from everyone else. A couple bit of 3-wide battles here as we ride on board with Kittenper as Clueless and Airborne Tiger goes side to side in the background, and there's a spin! W, Mr. Clueless, and Special OPS all involved, and Sequit! Sequit has been involved as well. Sequit is out of this race, folks! Sector 1, Lap 1 drama. Sequit, somehow there's been an incident, and Sequit's out of this race. What a shame for the Mercedes driver looking to put a challenge on Premium Grape, and the drivers in front. Meanwhile, Swarner and D-Crime are running away with this race, but wow, we missed that, folks. There's a big accident there. We have no idea what happened, but all we know is that our favorite to win this race, Sequit, is unfortunately out before the race even began, and now Clueless goes in front of W into Sector 2. What a battle! And meanwhile, Kittenper and W going side by side. I believe W has damage, and then we see some front wing flying off there as well. Back in the pack, Ultimate Gamers going alongside with Failed UX is now
Wow.
Coleman's trying to go around the outside. Absolute carnage here in Singapore. We have no idea what's happening at all as Woodsy Boy and W going side by side into the entrance of Sector 3, and Woodsy Boy gets the move done on the wounded W. Yeah, W's front wing is absolutely trashed. No saving that.
One thing I do have to point out is Premium 67 Grape. I don't know if he gained any position upside. I believe he did, but he does have front wing damage. His end plate on his left side is gone. I watched that happen in turn one.
Yep. You can see it.
And he hit the back of him. So he does have damage. Will he pit? I have no idea, but damage will slow his lap times down a little bit.
Meanwhile, I do want to point out D-Crime and Swarner are absolutely blowing away with it with a 5-second gap to the people behind. Meanwhile, Clueless 5-second time penalty. Another Red Bull low.
Oh man.
Oh my god, and he's going to be held up too, I guarantee you. I guarantee you he's going to be held up and has to change his wing. Oh, looks like it took a little bit longer than we thought. Absolute horror show for a lot of drivers on the grid. Meanwhile, D-Crime's teammate, W, like we said, had wing damage and did fall down the pack as D'Angelo also caught up in the carnage. Absolutely crazy scenes at the start of this race, and D-Crime and Swarner now have a race to themselves practically as we barrel down the streets of Singapore.
Airborne Tiger goes a little wide in that turn. Premium 67 Grapes getting really close to him, 7/10 off. He did mess up that turn pretty badly, to be honest. He is 6.1 behind Darkest Crime, but looks like Premium 67 Grape is gaining a lot on him per sector, so he might be going for a move here soon as they go through the left-hander. He's gaining like a lot each turn. So will he kick it up because he is at 97% ERS? So maybe whenever DRS turns on, he'll just pick it up and go for the move. Yeah, due to the lack of strength, I'll tell you the one thing you don't have to worry about around here is using up your engine too much, if you're smart about it, and ERS. However, it is still something you have to watch, as always, as Premium Grape trying to use his pretty much full battery to get an advantage on Airborne, although they basically have identical battery lives. Yeah. To be absolutely honest with you. Meanwhile, Dre Diggy and Grassa very close to each other. As Dre Diggy, wow, right on the back of Grassa there, a little bit, another meter more, and that would have been an accident. I don't believe Dre got any wing damage off the start. No, his wing looks pretty clean. So now he makes a move towards the Red Bull driver for the final spot on the podium. As we'll right on board it. Also, Ultimate Gamers in front of the McLaren. Also, they're both drivers also closing in on him. So this is shaping up to be a 3-car battle here for 8th place. As Ultimate Gamers runs wide. What is going on? Oh, Ultimate Gamers has damage. You can see it on his wing. He has damage. He's going to let Dre Diggy through. As meanwhile, Swarner and D-Crime battling for the lead of this race. D-Crime and Swarner side by side going into Sector 2. We missed that, folks, but I think down the back straight, yeah. D-Crime got the overspeed on Swarner, and D-Crime in the Ferrari with the Ferrari power takes P1 in this race. As Swarner, I believe, was caught a little bit off guard there through that series of corners, and now watches to see as his rival now has P1 in this race. Meanwhile, Woodsy Boy, running with Woodsy Boy and Coleman, he was right on the back for a second there, but I think he's dropped a little bit back. Maybe he made a bit of a mistake. But again, Dre Diggy's looking for a move on Greca. He's looking for down the inside, but he's playing patient. I think he's playing cat and mouse. Oh, it looks like he might go around the outside and he backs out of the. Oh, I can't even speak. He backs out, going up the inside, taps the back of Gracia and lets him go a tad bit with his 50% of ERS. So he has been pushing a little bit to catch up. Now will he continue to push through this sector? Also, you notice he gave him a bit of a love tap there, so I don't think any wing damage wasn't too significant, but, just, reminding him that he is there and that he would like to get a little bit of a move on this race, and, hopefully maybe he can find a way past, as, it looks like, he has no pace, Grassa. You can just see it. Every single corner trade is faster. Quite interesting to see. Meanwhile, I also would like to point out that only the top 5 drivers are on soft compounds. Which is shaping up to be quite interesting as this race will go on. Sequit has left the session. What a shame for him today. He was definitely hoping for a better result than that. Now, Dre Diggy is really close to the back of Gracia. Maybe whenever they get the DRS in the next DRS section, he can get the move done on him. Breaks a little later. He is playing really patient. Taps the back of him. Ooh, they both get a little loose, but they both corrected it. So he's just trying to push up and pass him with his 24% ERS. Gracia was 70%. Looks like he's conserving while Dre Diggy's trying to do everything he can just to get around him and move on.
Well, Dre Diggy's being stupid there, because if he hadn't hit the back of Grassa or Gracia, he would have been able to just soar by him on the straight, but now he has to hang back again into the series of corners. He's being held up massively right here by Gracia. Really is. Special PS 3-second time penalty. He's all the way down to 14th. He's had an absolute shocker of a race so far as well.
Now the leaders are starting to kind of like gap out with Swarner 1.4 seconds off, Becker's Carmen Airborne 5.4, sorry, and Premium 2 seconds off Airborne. So the leaders are sort of gapping.
Oh, and Woodsy Boy's gone wide, and he cuts off Grasa there. What was that? Woodsy Boy had a bit of an accident, and it looks like that he's caused Dre Diggity now go up the inside of Grasa into the third sector. In the Alfa Romeo, he soars past the Red Bull finally. He must be relieved to get that move done at this point in the race. Meanwhile, oh, Swatter into the pits, so it looks like he's either trying an undercut. You think maybe he's doing a two-stop today?
I think he is going to do a two-stop since he put on the medium tire compound, or he put on the hard, sorry. So,
no, on my screen it says, no, yeah, it's the hard compound. It is the hard compound.
It just switched to mediums for me, so I don't know what he has on.
No, he's on the hards. He's on the hards. He's on the hards. I'm positive he's on the hards. On the game it says he's on the hard. Yeah, he is. On the screen it says medium tires, but in reality it is hards because unfortunately this game does have a bit of issues. But Kitten
Petter also went into the pits and put on the hard, so him and Swarner look like they're following the same kind of pit line.
Ultimate Gamers got held up by Kittenper because they both McLarens pitted on the same lap, so it's a lot of lost time there for the McLaren drivers. Meanwhile, Failed UX, I'm sorry folks. Failed UX and W, now Failed UX is within 5/10 of W on the medium compound tire. It's race critical for Failed UX to get in front here, otherwise he could lose even more time out of this abysmal race for him. But going into Sector 2, Failed UX right on the back of W. I'm just trying to size him up, seeing where he's weak, seeing where he could possibly get his nose out in front and take that position. But yeah, we'll ride on board with him through these series of corners. The rest of the field looks like it's very evenly spaced, as D-Crime has a 6.4 second advantage over Airborne Tiger in second. So D-Crime just gotta, you know, stay cool, calm, and collected through these series of corners to make sure that he can hold on to that P1 for now.
One thing I do want to point out is Sequit PM'd me and said that someone spun him and people just did not see his car and he got wrecked out. I mean, tough luck to him. Honestly, he could have been one of the top runners today. I think he would have been.
Yeah, it is a shame. I really had him for the win if he'd been able to survive turn 1. Meanwhile, D-Crime into the pits, along with Premium Grape and Airborne Tiger. So those soft runners, like I said, you have to get off those tires early because the overheating on them was absolutely atrocious. And also, Premium Grape, right, he's getting the front wing change because he did have that issue, we do remember. As Airborne Tiger now exits the pits, Swarner does jump him. D-Crime, however, he's not able to jump D-Crime in the pits, so D-Crime does have the lead for now.
One thing I do want to say is that stops-wise, the top 4 have not pit, but everyone else except for Red Wing Racing have pit, so those top 4... I don't know if it's their strategy that's not going very well, but...
Meanwhile, Failed UX and W going side by side down on this straight. Premium Grape is allowing Failed UX to get a bit of a tow here. Now he moves over. Oh, and he's trying to help out his teammate. Oh, no, right. He's in the Toro Rosso. But anyways, Failed UX down the inside of W, so he's going to take that position for now. Like we said, race critical for Failed UX to get in front of the slower W car on the slower tire. So maybe he can make inroads to help improve his race today. Just looking through the rest of the grid. Yeah, everyone else is very evenly spaced out. Not too much action going on so far.
Swarner has closed the gap to 1.029 on Darkest Crime. 0.9. So if he can stay in there, he could get DRS in the next section. So that would be very useful for him. Because Darkest Crime is not in the DRS zone yet of Woodsy Boy. And he is now. So they both would have DRS. But
well,
he is pulling in.
Something's happened between Coleman and Grasa. Coleman's car is very glitched. Oh, yeah, he has wing damage. And Coleman has no more front wing, folks. No more front wing. His hit race going from bad to worse with that damage. Woodsy Boy also into the pits. I also don't believe Woodsy Boy. Yeah, Woodsy Boy also with the front wing change.
Maybe they had made contacts.
I'm telling you, you know how much money's being spent on front wings here today?
A lot. So
absolute
Swarner is
ridiculous amount.
closing in the gap on him though. He does have DRS, pushes it up on high and overtake I think, but Darkus is also doing the same as they go through the left-hander. You just can't get close enough to make the move.
Yes, it's Works Renault versus Works Ferrari for the net.
Oh, Ken Petter going down the inside of Mr. Clues.
Good,
This is
good
looking like a
spot
nice
there.
battle. He pulls off the position, it looks like. Mr. Clues just could not defend it well enough with the speed that he had going down that long straight.
Well,
Sorry to interrupt you there.
Well, the Kitten Petter himself pounces on the Red Bull, Mr. Clueless. I will never get old of making cat puns when talking about Kitten Petter. I'm sorry for you folks at home who thinks it's annoying, but that's how it's going to happen. As meanwhile, we go back to the Works Ferrari versus the Works Renault battle. As it looks like Swarner is just trying to, maybe keep it calm for a bit, trying to see where D-Crime is fast enough. Because again, these drivers, 7 seconds in front of his teammate of Airborne Tiger in 5th position. So Swarner has the time of the world. He has, potential, and he has the ability to be able to overtake D-Crime later, but he just got to size him up now, as he is actually out of DRS for now, but maybe he's just trying to go back so his car can cool. Premium Grape with a 3-second time penalty. That will come into play later in the race, for sure.
One thing to point out is Swarner has lost the gap down to 1.6, but Darkest Crime 0.7 off Gracia, so he will get DRS in the next section, and most likely pull away even more from Swarner, so he needs to try to keep as close as he can while he can.
Yeah, that's a good observation. This traffic could either help or hurt D-Crime. We'll see if Gracia gets out of the way here. Part of me thinks he's going to defend the position, which means that D-Crime actually might be hurt by this. He isn't able to get around through this corner, so now he's just going to be held up by the Red Bull driver, and I actually believe this could help Swarner re-catch up to D-Crime.
It could definitely if Gracia holds him up for long enough, as Darkest Crime locks up a little bit there. Gracia's just holding that inside line, playing very protected. He does not want to lose P2, even though he has not pit yet. But Swarner is going to capitalize on this. Already gained like almost 3 seconds, so he's going to try his best to just get as close as he can while he can, as I said.
As you can see, Swarner is already 1.2 seconds back to D-Crime. Gracia here in a different race. Yeah, you can defend a position if you're on track battling, but they are in 2 entirely different races, which means that Gracia here might even be to his best advantage to let these drivers through, so he doesn't lose as much time as well. But obviously we hope to see them battle, because we love to see a nice battle here at Trinity Competitive Racing. And going into the 3rd sector here, very slow speeds, corners. D-Crime just hoping to be able to somehow get around the Red Bull driver. But unfortunately, I think he's got to stay behind at least into the final corner. Maybe he can sight up a move into turn 1. But we will see as they go across the line.
0.6 off of Darkest Crime 0.5, so he has taken well advantage of this, and looks like he might try to make a move as Darkest cuts that turn a little bit, probably a warning, and he goes around the 2nd turn in 2nd gear. Pretty good turn by him, but he just can't get the move done on Gracia. So Swarner is 0.6 behind him.
Yes, very, very, very true. Now D-Crime right behind Gracia. He has to make the move here if he wants to salvage this P1 and make sure he stays in front. Gracia is going to try to swing it around the outside, but that's not going to work, as Swarner now is going to be right in the back of the Red Bull driver himself. Through this mini hairpin, I like to call it, into the kink which starts Sector 2. Actually, I believe it's the beginning of Sector 2. It doesn't start Sector 2, but it's part of the beginning. As now we're going to watch as D-Crime might be able to pull a gap to Swarner, so we're just talking about the advantage that Swarner gained. He might now lose it, as D-Crime can sail off into the distance in clean air and not being held up through the slow corners.
Definitely, definitely. As Swarner still is looking for the move on him, he pushes it up into a higher gear, so hopefully he can get this move sealed. He breaks a little later than Gracia. Gracia goes a little wide. Swarner did get closer through the turn, but I don't know if he'll be able to get close enough to make the move. As he almost
makes a
sends
peek,
it, but backs out. Woo!
He makes a peek
there.
there.
Too much.
Knocking on the door here, seeing who's home, ringing the doorbell. Swarner inches away from the rear end gearbox of Gracia and the Red Bull. I feel like I've said the Red Bull a lot of times here, but you know what? He is in a Red Bull, so it does make sense. Down the front straight here, Gracia hoping to defend, but at the same time wants to minimize his time loss. So we will see. Again, he's out of DRS on D-Crime, so Swarner hopefully will be able to soar by him down the straight coming up after these series of corners. But I think he'll get the move done easily. Just has to get a great exit out of turn 4 right here, as he's able to clip the apex, and he does exactly that. Right
One thing
behind
I would like to point
Grasso.
out is Grasha has 93% ERS, so he has been conserving this entire time while defending his position.
Well, Swarner to the
Swarner throws it up the
inside.
inside.
Great battling here. They run side by side. Swarner's going to try to hang it around the outside into this corner as he gives him a little bit of a squeeze, but Swarner makes a great move and puts himself back into provisional P2 of the race. P3 on track for now, but once Dre does
Kitten
make his
Petter
pit
and
stop.
Premium 6-7 with the battle. Premium 6-7 went down the inside of Kitten Petter and got the position. Kitten Petter gets a little loose, so it looks like he cannot hold the position off. As Special OPS does wreck and failed also, so looks like they maybe had made contact there. That's not good for either of the drivers there.
Well, I saw failed
P10
UX
and
going
P11.
slow. You think maybe he might have let Special OPS through? The middle of an incident, he might have let him through there. But very peculiar to see from the Racing Point.
Oh, as D'Angelo lets the P14 by. Don't understand really why he let P14 by, but he does.
Another yellow flag somewhere. It might have been for D'Angelo. Meanwhile, Kitten Petter now looking at the blue rear end of the Toro Rosso, as he hangs on to a nifty 7th place so far in this race. But again, we still have 20 laps to go, folks, with rain at the end, potentially. So this race is shaping up to be quite spicy, if I do say so myself. Meanwhile, I think what we're going to do here is, because there is, a lot of gaps to the drivers in front, I think we're going to do is we're right on board with the race leader so far of Dre Diggy. And actually, I'm going to ride on board with someone's about to start a lap. You know what? Let's ride on board with W in the Ferrari as we take you a lap around Singapore in the eyes of the Ferrari driver. Again, this is kind of similar to NASCAR's Turn It Up, if you know that. So let's listen to the petrol-filled noise of a V6 Formula One car.
One thing to point out is Coleman did DNF. I think he wrecked, but just pointing it out.
Yeah, Coleman's out of the race. We'll pick it. We'll do that later at some point. Yeah, I think we'll do that when we catch up to Dre Diggy in front. So yeah, I'll just let you guys listen to the sounds of a car. We'll both shut up in the booth for a lap as we watch Dre Diggy now come along for the final series of corners. Yeah, we'll try this again. We might actually not try it again, as now Airborne Tiger is actually on the back of Grasso here. So hold that thought. We'll wait until another tranquil moment in the race, and we'll try that again. But meanwhile, we're going to run on board Airborne Tiger here, as now he's right behind Grasso, who is dropping like a rock on those old medium tires in this race, as the front runners are trying to now get around him so they can get on their way in this race. As it looks like Grasso is going to come to the pits, promoting the Renault teammate of Airborne Tiger into 4th place for the time being.
Thing I would like to point out is that Dre Diggy did extend his lead that he had previously to 8.5 seconds. So if he can get, which this probably won't happen, but if he can get a 20-second lead to 2nd place, he could probably come out of the pits in 1st place. This is a short pit lane, remember that.
Well, one thing to note is that he's definitely on the one-stop strategy, and he's praying that no rain comes out. Because if rain comes out, if rain doesn't come out, there's no way that the top 6 drivers will be able to stay out, because they're all on super old tires, or they will be by that point in the race. The hard tires, they do last, but they don't last that long, I'll tell you that much. I don't know what I'm doing.
W and Mr. Clues look like they are. Oh, yep. W and Mr. Clues are going side by side. Mr. Clues going down the inside of W, cannot hold it off. There's a 3-way battle for P7 right now. Special Ops looking to stick his nose up in there. Mr. Clues is still behind W.
Special Ops, yes, also looking to get a little peek of this battle. Oh, yikes. Haven't slept in a while. Oh, meanwhile, Clueless hit the wall there for a second. That's a little bit weird. I think his wing... Oh, is his wing okay? Well, I want to see if we can get a view of his wing here. Because meanwhile, the Ferrari has damage, by the way.
They both have damage. They both have end plates
yes,
missing,
they do
which
have
is probably a yellow wing, so it's raceable. It's just slower.
What about Special OPS? How's his wing doing? Oh, it's gonna give us a beautiful view. Yep. Those cars all have damage. Looks like the rich energy front wing of Special OPS is alright. As Dre Diggy is now into the pits. He comes out onto the... Oh, interesting. He goes onto the medium tire. Why would you do that? Now he has to stop again for sure. So he's on a 2-stop. So now I guess he's hoping for rain to come.
As who was that? Mr. Clues dives into the pits to possibly repair that wing, but also possibly stop. He's on those 11 lap load mediums.
Well, he's gonna go on to the hard tire.
He has a 5-second stop and go. Yeah. But he is changing his wings, so that is noticeable.
Meanwhile, the Alfa Romeo has crashed out. As Phil UX, what is he doing here? It's going very slowly. I think he's just had a shocker of a race. He's on the soft compound tire. What a shame for the Racing Point driver. A lot of drivers really biting the bullet here at this really, really tough Singaporean GP circuit.
Special OPS nearly 1 second off W, so he may be looking for the position. It's the closest battle on the track. Oh, W stops, and yeah, I do not know what happened there, but W hit the brakes, and Special OPS hit the brakes. Oh, it's a virtual safety car. I am so dumb.
Interesting. Is anyone near the pits, by any chance? That must be for... I don't know if that's for, but... You know, I wonder if D-Crime...
I guess D'Angelo.
I wonder if D-Crime decides to make a pit stop here, or at least one of the runners onto a fresh set of hard tires. It looks like the VSC's over. Yeah. It didn't last long. Would have been worth it in the end.
That did help Special OPS, though, as he was only 17ths now off W. Gets a little worse, but he's going down into the right-hander, into the left-hander. Gets a decently good exit. W got a way better one, though. As they go into the chicane under, like, the little tunnel, he gets a pretty good entrance and decent exit. W looks like he's just holding off the gap. It looks like he's just not going to give up this position easily.
Yes, Special OPS is going to try to see what he can do in these two DRS zones. Barreling down into turn 1 in the Haas Ferrari-powered car. He runs wide into turn 1, which could just make him lose time to the Ferrari of W. But again, the overtaking opportunity isn't into turn 3, it's into turn 4. Actually, sorry, into turn 5 as he now goes down the straight. He runs wide and actually check up the car. And so I think W is going to hold on to the position for now in the Ferrari. But that's the way it's going to stand for now. Maybe next lap, Special OPS could have another peak. But we'll stay like this for now.
4/10 off of Kitten Petter. It looks like he's thinking about going for the position on those 1-lap mediums. Compared to on those 9 laps hards. So it looks like Dre Diggy may have the strategy this race other than going medium to medium. I do not understand that.
Well, what I don't understand is that, you know, why not take a gamble? You know, because if these drivers hit the pit again, then you be in, you know, P1 of the race. Now you're going to be down in P6, maybe P5 once you get past Kitten Petter. Meanwhile, Kitten Petter tries to defend to the outside, but Dre just slides up the inside there, taking the position with ease. But like I said, back to my point. You know, why would you choose to go on a tire and make it so that you lose all that track time? It just doesn't make sense to me. Anything else you want to talk about?
One thing I do want to point out, since there's not really any battles, I'll say that in a second. Special OPS 4/10 off W. So I guess we'll stick to this battle and see what I had to say.
Yeah, I think these two are going to be going at it for a little bit here. They just swapped position before, and now they might swap again. As Special OPS runs wide, as you can see, his rear end just didn't stick through the final corner. And W is going to, again, like I said, hold on to that advantage for now. But we'll see. Special OPS might be close enough this time. Looks like he's a little bit far back. He's had to get a mega turn forward in order to even have a chance down this straight here. He definitely nails it better this time, but I still think he's going to be a little bit too far back. Meanwhile, W has almost half more battery. Actually, more than half more battery than Special OPS. So, again, I think it's going to stay this way for now. But we will definitely see as this race goes on.
So I guess I do have time to point this out, since we are not doing much right now. There's not many battles going on. So, Sequit does point out to me, he said he heard from his teammate, 5 minutes till rain. So that may bunch up the order if it is actually 5 minutes till rain. But I do want to say, down in the description below, there should be a link, TCR affiliation link with Fanatec. So if you are looking to buy a Fanatec wheel, you could use the TCR one, and we get a little money back to help the program continue and get better, if you know.
Yeah, very good to see, very good to hear, to have, you know, sponsorships like that supporting TCR. Great for the league in total. Meanwhile, again, special OPS, 7/10 down on W. As these two are going back and forth. But again, looking to the skies, it's really hard to see in these night races if there are clouds. But again, you can see it is a little interesting in terms of the lighting. Meanwhile, Dre Diggy on those fresh mediums does set the fastest lap of the race of a 140.6. I'm actually going to look at the fastest lap, see how, wow, he really beat that lap, didn't he? Over half a second faster than if it fails direct to the soft tires. Wow, what a lap. And wow,
it really
I'm tired.
was a good lap. Oh, Special Ops looking for the move on W. He was 2/10 off going in that turn. W gets a little better exit though. Pulls off. Still 2/10. Oh, W locks up a little bit there. With this DRS, will he be able to pull off the position? I don't think so.
He
W
will.
just has so much ERS.
Wow, I'm surprised. Oh, and he sends it up the inside on the Ferrari driver.
Got the move. Good job, I guess, by him.
And we do want to note that the Ferrari driver doesn't have a wing. He is wingless in this race. So, special OPS, honestly, a bit of an overdue move, you know. To be stuck behind someone without a wing is kind of race critical. So interesting that he wasn't able to get the move done that quickly. But now, another thing to mention is that if D-Crime were to pit now, let's say if the rain were to come, he would come out in 6th place as it stands, with Kitten Petter being 18 seconds back on D-Crime, and then Special OPS being almost half a minute down on the Ferrari driver.
That is helpful, thank you for that. But as we see, it doesn't look like it started raining yet, so I bet by the time the rain gets going, it'll probably be lap 23, 24 by the time it gets going pretty decently, I bet. How about you? What do you think?
If you want my honest opinion, I think the rain might start to come a little bit sooner. Maybe lap 20 we might see some sprinklings, but you know, I think by lap 23, 24, like you said, the inters might be strapped on, because you know, you know, a little bit of a dusting, or not dusting, a little bit of a sprinkle, you know, never hurt anyone, but it's when the rain starts to actually fall, which is when you see drivers scrambling into the pits for that intermediate rubber. As meanwhile, Dre Diggy has caught up to Premium Grape. He's caught almost a 4-second gap on those fresh tires, and it looks like Dre Diggy's trying to make the strategy work on the fresher and softer rubber. Premium Grape's got to defend for a little bit of a while now, as he hopes to hold off the Alpha driver into Sector 2. The Toro Rosso, again, just trying to make the car as wide as possible, because it is race critical for Grape as well, to make sure that the Alpha doesn't get by. But Dre Diggy is going to really send it up the inside there into the hairpin as we barrel down into Sector 3.
So it looks like Dre Diggy is still looking for the move on Premium 67 Grape, as he's only 3/10 off, but he does only have 20% ERS, as Dre Diggy has 80%, or Premium Grape has 80%, sorry, and he does get a little worse exit there, but out of this turn, Premium gets a better exit again. Looks like Premium is defending pretty well, as he can maybe get the slower entrances with those older hards, but he's getting the better exits, it looks like.
Yeah, but Dre Diggy is just shaping up this move onto one of the straights, because that's going to be his best chance to get by the Toro Rosso driver himself. Down into the front straight, he's going to be in the slipstream, in the DRS. I don't think he's going to make the move here, because he's going to want to make it on the back straight, so Premium can't defend. It is sprinkling. Can you see it?
So,
yeah,
yep,
see, I can see rain on the halo of the Alpha. Now, folks, you know what rain means? Rain means unpredictable conditions. So everyone expect crashes. Not hope for crashes, not there'd be a possibility. Expect people to go off, because these are very tricky conditions.
Oh, it's already, like, the rain's already getting pretty good. As you can see, getting onto the drivers. So,
yeah, you can see it on the cameras themselves as well. You can see the rain is starting to fall. This is shaping up to be quite interesting, because this rain, the harder it falls, you know, it might not be the point to go on to the inners yet, but these drivers are going to be struggling for grip wherever they can be. Again, no traction control, more ABS allowed in this league. So how these drivers handle these intermediate conditions for, I believe, the first time this season will be quite interesting, for sure.
Now keep in mind, guys, Dre Diggin Premium 67 Grade may not look like a very close battle. There are only 6 times, but it's the closest one on track. There is not much going on. We need these drivers to step it up and give us some action.
What we need is rain,
Yeah.
which is what we are getting, for sure. As going into the end of the third sector, again, Dre Diggy actually hopes that the rain stays off, because when rain comes on, the FIA will disable DRS once it gets too wet on the track. So Dre Diggy, to help make this move, is going to probably need that DRS. So he's kind of hoping that this rain... Oh, and he drops the car. He drops the car. He tried to push a little bit too hard, and what did I say? Rain brings out crashes. As in the slippery, unpredictable conditions, Dre Diggy drops the car as we watch as now Kittenpurr soars by to take 5th place off of Dre Diggy. So all that work he made, all the time he gained on the medium tires has just been lost.
He just lost it.
50 meters. I could predict that going in the dirty air. Not quite sure how the rain is going to affect his car, and he put too much into it. Complete driver error there, which is going to cost him in this race.
I bet his tires are pretty heated now, so you might have to drive cautious for the next couple of laps while they cool off, because he did do a 180 spin after he wrecked.
Well, luckily
he did spin it.
Luckily, as the rain drops down, he will start to see his tire temperatures decrease. As Grasha, first driver to go onto the intermediate tires in the Red Bull. So again, his race has been ass. So he's just hoping to maybe throw a bit of a gamble, and hopefully these intermediate tires can work out for him.
Most definitely. So, which one of the top, we'll do the top 5. Everyone on the hards, at the top 5, who do you think will go onto the intermediate?
It's meanwhile, Dre Diggy drops the car again, so yeah, like you said, those tires being overheated and coupled with the wet conditions just doesn't help things at all. As now W is going to go by the Alpha as well as Special OPS. Actually, they're going to battle into the hairpin, as Dre Diggy is going to hold it up the inside there, and again, Dre Diggy's race. He had potential, he had promise, but, you know, driver error twice now, you know, has killed him this race. And again, also, once your tires start to overheat, it's a slippery slope, because it just causes you to be able to spin out more. So, Dre has to take it really careful now, and maybe he'll come to the pits for the intermediate tires and hope for a gamble. Meanwhile, all the front runners into the pits onto intermediate tires, and oh my god.
Did the Renault's double stack?
No, but you know what happened? Swarner forgot to set intermediate tires. Swarner forgot to set intermediate tires.
Oh, that's not good. That is not good.
That is race over.
Drake does get in front of Airborne Tiger through the pit, so that double stack really actually slowing down the two Renaults.
The double stack, not only did Swarner mess up and go onto the medium tires, but it also slowed down Airborne. So the Renault boys...
Oh, there was a wreck in the tunnel. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
Wrecked, and Mr. Clues and Ultimate Gamers had to, like, stop. So they all just lost a lot of time from Failed UX losing as he cuts the chicane. I don't understand what he's doing.
The Failed UX has no win, by the way. I think they will all
dive into the pits. Yes, they all go into the pits.
Oh, look at this. Swarner just losing hand over fist to D-Crime. What a shame. He was on for such a great result in today's race. It's literally a matter of just not telling Jeff to put on intermediate tires. That's all it is. There's one little switch you have to make. There's one little switch you have to make, and Jeff not coming through as he should, and Swarner's got to come to the pits again, and that's going to be a heap of time lost. We'll see him down. He'll be, I believe he's going to be P6 around, yeah. I wonder if he's going to try to stick it out on these tires, though.
That probably wouldn't be smart, because Darkest Karma's already gained 1 second on him, just on those intermediates, so if Swarner was thinking correctly, he would make sure to switch onto those intermediates and go into the pits and
half a second a sector. It's only going to get worse as the rain falls. Swarner better not be stupid and just come to the pits now.
It does suck for him, though, as he was P2 like all night. He was looking for a very promising finish, which looks like may not happen. He will have points, hopefully, but...
Oh, yeah, look at him. Look at him trying to arrest the car on... You know, this car is massively aquaplaning now as well as the rain continues to fall. But what this basically means is that it's pretty much a Ferrari win for D-Crime, as so long as he keeps it out of the wall and, you know, just drives consistent and clean.
Well, he put on the intermediates this time. We will see if he forgets again. Did he yell at Jeff, you think? Yes, he did. Okay, so he's going on the intermediates.
Thank God he didn't make the same mistake twice. But yeah, he'll be a P5, I believe. Unless he can get out in front of Kitten. He might be able to, actually. We'll see. Looks like Kitten Purr is... Yeah, Kitten Purr is going to jump him. So Swarner is
Yeah,
down to
he got
5th
him.
place in this race. So maybe he could be able to possibly catch up to Kitten and get a P4. But I think P4 is the most... is the biggest potential he can get today off of that unfortunate error.
So like I did say at the start of the race, Swarner has race pace. It's just simple mistakes and wrecks that mess him up. So as you see, it was his fault. I mean, no one caused him to do that.
Now, what I think is also a great idea is let's take a look at some penalties here, just so we have some context going into the second third, or the final third of this race. So you're on lap 21 of 31. So if you don't mind checking penalties for me,
I will do
that'd be
that.
fantastic.
Will do. I do know that there is a decent amount of 3 seconds.
Give me 1 second, I'll be back. I have to go do something, take me 30 seconds. So while I'm gone, you are welcome to go read off the penalties for the viewers at home.
Okay, so guys, Darkest Crime with no penalties as of right now. Premium 67 Grape with a 3-second penalty, which is not good for him. Airborne Tiger with no penalties. Kitten Petter, no penalties. Swarner, only 1 warning. Very good by him to not get the penalties. W, no penalty. Oh, actually, W does have a 3-second. Special OPS with a penalty. 2 penalties. Dre Diggy with no penalty. Oh, a penalty actually. Woodsy Boy with a penalty. And we'll do Graka with no penalties. So that's a top 10 penalty wise. There is not very many. Premium out of the top 5, I think, is the only one in top 5 with the penalties. So not looking good for him.
And I am back, folks. And we are back and watching this race. Meanwhile, Dre Diggy, closest driver to anyone on the grid, 5/10 down on special OPS. Put the pressure on, hopefully to salvage this abysmal race, in which he saw so much potential, was leading the race for such a long time, but made some mistakes. Meanwhile, special OPS
loses a little bit.
Oh, and look at him defend aggressively to the inside, as special OPS does do. Is Dre Diggy now is going to hang it around the outside, and all these drivers, look at them struggle in these conditions. They're all struggling for grip. As Dre Diggy is going to make the move stick, especially after, and special OPS loses the car, and into the wall it goes, losing his wing. And that is race over for special OPS. Instead I have to crawl around.
Will he get points? The question. As Garaka gets really close to him, he will have to pit. I don't think he'll get points. Well, he will get P10, I believe.
He'll get P10. Actually, he just has to crawl his way back to the pits and put on a new wing. But stupid error in this. Again, very tricky conditions. I'll say it again. They are very tricky conditions, but you cannot lose the car when you are... in any situation, even in the rain. That's what these drivers are here to do. They're here to race, and if you want to race, you got to make sure you can keep the car clean in all scenarios.
So while we have a break, if I am not mistaken, I believe we're doing a driver interview after this race. Would you like to do that again?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, so
Fun to hear
after
from
this
the
race,
drivers.
if you guys would like to stay tuned. We will have some drivers in here talking about their race and what they thought was happening and all this and that.
And we'll probably do podium, and then I want to hear Sequit's view on the starting crash, because we did miss that, which spelled the end of the race for so many drivers, including one of the championship contenders of Sequit himself. As we continue on here, things are a little bit quiet now, but as always in the wet conditions, someone can always drop the car. So it'll be quite interesting to see as this race unfolds if everyone can keep it out of the barriers. We'll run on board with the Ferrari of D-Crime here as we watch him maneuver the lap, and we'll go silent for half a lap and just show you how the race leader is managing these conditions.
Yeah, so one thing I would like to point out is all the drivers are pretty spaced out, but Kitten Petter has gained about 5/10 on Airborne Tiger in that last lap, so he is looking to maybe catch up. Oh, he loses a little bit in that turn, loses a little bit of time, but Ted Putter may go for the P3 and get into this party.
Kitten Petter showing that he has the skills to race the lakes, as we do say so here in America. Showing he has the skills to master these wet conditions. He's really closing in on Airborne. Airborne Tiger either Airborne Tiger has no idea what he's doing, or Kitten Petter is blistering.
Oh, he's saving, I think, because he's at 100% ERS. Know about fuel-wise, but Kitten Petter's at 50%, so he's double what Kitten Petter has.
I think what's happening is Kitten Petter. Well, the thing is, you don't want to use much ERS in the rain because you want to be able to have good traction. And when you use more ERS, you know, that is more power going to the rear wheel, so keeping traction can be hard. So I think the only thing that's happening here is that Airborne Tiger is just trying to be very cautious, but at the same time, I think he's being a little bit too cautious because Kitten Petter has insane pace. Yellow flags in Sector 2.
Yeah.
Oh, big
special
accident.
OPS again.
Special OPS and Grasha. You're saying?
Special OPS, I think broke his wing again, so if need be, he might have to pit again, and I don't think he'll get points at that time, to be honest with you.
Oh man, poor Special OPS. What a shame for him today. He's caught up in lap 1 incident, and he's had at least 2 other crashes. Big shame.
As Kitten Petter's 5/10 off Airborne Tiger, gets a little loose on the exit of that turn. Airborne Tiger playing more cautious, gets him a better exit there. 7/10 off as Kitten Petter, as he gets a really good turn actually in the rain.
Yeah, watching these drivers here in this tricky section, you can see they're starting to understand the conditions more. You know, they are starting to race cleaner. As now Kitten Petter's right at the back of Swarter. Is he going to make a move? No, he's not. Okay, he's going to hang back for now. But probably he might look for the hairpin to at least try something, as we'll ride on board. Look at the grip he has in comparison to Airborne. Airborne Tiger is all over the place, and Kitten Petter is mastering these conditions so far in this race. So Airborne Tiger is going to hold on for now.
One thing I would like to point out is Airborne Tiger could be in his head right now, trying to hold up Kitten Petter to let his teammate Swarner catch up. So if he is, that's a very smart move by him.
That could be an option. They might be pulling some teammate tactics here. Again, they are trying to gain on Toro Rosso and Mercedes in the constructors, so could be a move. You are very right. But we can see Airborne Tiger it's almost like a bus. Parking the bus here to keep Swarner behind. Sorry, not Swarner, Kitten Petter in the McLaren.
Swarner has getting like a second on Kitten Petter, so if everyone can keep this up, Kitten Petter's probably getting pretty frustrated right now.
Yeah, you can see Airborne Tiger's dropping almost a second a lap, and look at that, Kitten Petter up the inside. He's going to make the move stick, and Airborne Tiger has nothing he can do. He goes to the outside, and there is contact. He now tries to go around the outside here. Very interesting. Some pretty dangerous stuff throughout these corners as Kitten Petter makes the move stick.
Oh, wait. Who was that?
Who?
A Renault or something in Sector 1 was like on the side of the track. It was Ultimate Gamers. Okay, he moved out of the way of Swarner. Okay, sorry, I was confused about that. As he puts on the wets, so a couple of drivers, the last two, putting on the wets to see how those feel.
Well, the rest of the grid will definitely look to see how their pace is, because they'll want to know if the wet tires is the right compound to be on as well. But meanwhile, Swarner now only 2.1 back to his teammate Airborne, as Kitten Petter doesn't have enough laps left to even attempt to move on Grape. However, Kitten Petter is in the podium positions. So I don't know when Kitten Petter's last podium was, but this could possibly be his first podium of the season here if he can just keep it clean throughout these last 6 laps.
Him and D-Crime were tied in like P11 or something in the points. I will double check on that, but they were both really low in the points, and as you see, they are starting to pull it out of themselves. So they were both tied for P11 in the points, 12 points each, 11th in the point standing. So
meanwhile, Airborne Tiger lets Swarner through. We just saw the Renault boys did switch positions, so it is quite possible that Tiger was trying to hold up Kitten Petter. It's actually Swarner now. I think the goal of that is to see if Swarner can now catch Kitten Petter. Meanwhile, Sector 3 yellow flag. What could that possibly be for?
I think it was failed UX. He's only in 4th gear, so I think it was him.
Also good for Ultimate Gamers, as he's having some type of issues. Yeah, it's for Ultimate Gamers.
Oh, he's letting the fast guys by. That makes sense. Okay.
Ah, makes sense. Blue flags. Great to see someone finally embodying my blue flag rules.
There's not really any battles going on right now.
Well,
It's kind
one
of
thing
boring.
actually it is quite interesting is throughout this time, throughout all the battles in the past couple laps, Premium Grape has gone from a 9-second gap on the Ferrari of D-Crime down to a 3.5-second gap in this intermediate period. So we could possibly see Premium Grape putting a challenge on the Ferrari of D-Crime for the win in the closing stages of this race. You can see that, yeah, Premium Grape can see the Ferrari in front of him, just off into the next couple corners, but he's definitely within reach, and you can see he's down to almost 2.9 seconds as Premium Grape is mastering these conditions as D-Crime, it appears to be, is struggling, or at least isn't on to par with the Toro Rosso so far in these conditions. This could be a last lap overtake here for the lead of the race. Will be quite interesting, nevertheless.
That'll be very exciting, nevertheless. As Swerner closes the gap to 1.3 on Ken Petter, looks like he really wants to get that P3 and get those extra points. I mean, why wouldn't he? I'll ask you a question. Do you think Swerner will be able to close the gap and get Ken Petter in the last laps?
Well, he's already closed the second gap so far in a lap, so I think it's definitely possible. Same thing with Grape on the Ferrari of D-Crime, so we could see a completely different podium than what we're seeing right now with only 5 laps to go, 4 laps to go at the line. This is getting spicy, folks. Very, very spicy. I'm not quite sure who's going to win this so far. It's up for grabs at this point. Between D-Crime and Premium Grape. Grape is just closing in massively. It looks like he just has so much more confidence in his car on the Ferrari of D-Crime. And D-Crime, you know what? He's definitely feeling the pressure at this point. You know, he wants this win so bad. And Premium Grape has proven himself to be a race winner and to be very quick in this series. And so D-Crime has all the pressure in the world to show that he too deserves to be within these front runners.
May I point out, I do not know if this is a 5-second stop and go, so keep this in mind, this could be false, but as it says on the standings page, Premium Grape has a penalty, so it depends on how much it is, or if it was a stop and go that he already completed. So we don't know how that will
Sector
play
3
out.
yellow flag, someone spun, or maybe blue flags.
Yeah.
Look at that, Premium Grape is right behind the Ferrari. About to be 4 laps to go at the
Oh
line.
wow, Swarner 0.4 off the Kitten Petter. Looks like he's starting to get comfortable with his car too late in these races. Premium and Swarner look like they're just cruising along in the rain.
After that unfortunate mistake with the mix-up between the intermediate tires and the medium tires, Swarner's hoping to maybe get a podium to lick his wounds after what could have been a P2 or maybe even P1 based off D-Crime's pace. But wow, Premium Grape within a second on D-Crime. We could see a completely different podium. Like I said, we could see Premium Grape, D-Crime, and Swarner in these closing laps of the race. D-Crime is going to defend for his life. He's going to want to get his first win this season in the Golden Class. But he can definitely tell that he's very nervous going through these last couple of corners. And Premium Grape is definitely trying to push to see if he can strut his advantage even more on his title rival of Sequit. And at the same time, we also have to pay attention to this battle between Swarner and Kitten Petter. Come on, Kitten, you got this. In the McLaren, Orange Papaya McLaren. But now we are 4 laps to go at the line. And we can definitely see what's going to happen.
Maybe Swarner will pounce on the cat of Kitten Petter.
You know, catnip can motivate anyone, and if anyone's catnip in this grid, Kitten Petter sure is the man for the job. As Swarner. He's going to want to see what he can do.
Oh, wow.
Now, again, it's one thing to catch, a completely other thing to overtake a car, and in these conditions, you do not have DRS. You have to basically do it throughout a corner off pure pace alone. Again, no driver aid other than maybe saving your battery, but, you know, Kitten Petter, if he's smart, and same with D-Crime, they're just going to save their battery through the corners and send it all on the straights. But again, these drivers, if they want to get in front, what they have to do here is they have to just position their car, possibly throw the other driver offline, and then hopefully they can have an opening in which they can overtake for that position in the race. Very interesting so far.
Great point 4 off Darkest Crime. It looks like, do you think he'll do him dirty and take him out right at the end? I don't think he will.
I don't think he will. I don't think he's that type of driver.
I mean, it says a NASCAR. Oh, Ultimate Gamer, since I kept talking about, jeez.
Wow, not a great race for him, that's for sure. Wow, look at Grape. He's right behind D-Crime, literally on his gearbox. With 3 laps to go at the line, D-Crime has to defend for his life in these torrential rain almost conditions. You can see it, it's coming down. It really is coming down at this point. As one more gamers does retire. Swarner, what? Swarner has left the session. Is that a disconnect by any chance?
I think it was a disconnect. That is not good for him. Oh, wow. Wow, he would have possibly gotten them moved on Kitten Petter. That is very unfortunate.
Wow,
very.
Swarner gets a disconnect. The luck that's not fair. What a shame that is. We're about to see a great battle for P3 in the race, and Swarner disconnects in the lobby. He must be fuming right now. Must be absolutely fuming.
I would be fuming, I know that.
Yes, I'm on the same page with you on that one. Meanwhile, D-Crime again having to defend from Premium Grape. So now we can totally focus on this battle in the closing stages. It's D-Crime again, just trying to do the best he can to make his car as wide as possible. I'm trying to see if anyone has wing damage. It looks like their front wings are intact. Yes,
yep,
they're all fine on wing damage.
One thing I do have to point out is Premium Grape with 84% ERS and Dark Swarmer 65. So he does have a little 20%. Not that he will probably use it, but he does have a little advantage. Oh, Swarner comes back. Will he be able to catch 2.3 on Kid Petter? I don't think he will. Even though he is back, I don't think he'll be able to catch the 2.5.
Hey, at least he's back in the lobby, you know? At least he's back. But Premium Grape.
Oh, he left again. Oh, wow.
Ah, what a shame.
Oh, I feel bad.
And D-Crime runs wide, and Premium Grape's going to look for the opportunity here. He's going to have to stay behind for now, but that was almost the lead gone for D-Crime. Pressure's getting to him. He's starting to make mistakes. Premium Grape is just putting it on, making him twitch the car left and right. So you can see D-Crime is really struggling in these conditions. He really is. As now Premium Grape's to be right behind. This is going to be his best overtaking opportunity as we go down the front straight in the slipstream with full battery. He's going to stay behind for now, but he's right behind the Ferrari. He's getting so impatient at this point, as he's just hoping to find an avenue to possibly get around this Ferrari driver. And it looks like he's going to get the traction out of turn 3, but again, he's just barely too far back.
This is a great battle.
It is a great battle. D-Crime's just able to stay in front. He now gets a little bit of oversteer on exit. It's down the back straight. He only has one more lap to do this, so he's going to really have to... Now, Premium Grape's got to start being desperate, hoping to defend here. There's a yellow flag in Sector 1. I wonder who that's for. It might be for a lap car. No idea. Anyways, I don't care. Let's pay attention to these guys up in front. As Grape, again, just trying to put the pressure on, but he has to get this move done soon because this race is almost over. We have one more... We have a lap and a half almost here in this race. And D-Crime, he's been doing a great job so far. And again, you can all say, oh, D-Crime goes one, and D-Crime goes into the wall. I was just praising him for how good of a job he was doing. Praising him for how good of a job he's doing, but he locks the tires. And that's, what a shame. What a shame for D-Crime.
This race is, the end of this race is not really looking good for the driver's point of view.
What a shame.
Loses it because he locks up. Swarner disconnects like 5 times. Oh, Kitten Petter Rex! No! What is happening? What is happening? Swarner passes him. Swarner passes Kitten Petter.
Does Swarner's AI pass Kitten Petter?
No, he's back. Swarner joined back again. So if he can stay in here, he'll have the position.
Kitten Petter, why? No!
I did see what happened. On that little lip that bumps out, he tried to go as wide as he could, caught the lip, and just spun. Not much, really.
Well, he's lucky he's still in the race, but oh my god, D-Crime. D-Crime, what a shame. He was on for a race win, his first of the season, but he threw it away with that lock up into the wall, and it looks like Premium Grape is going to come home for yet another win, unfortunately.
3 in a row, correct?
3 in a row is correct. It's going to be another, it's almost like...
he keeps it.
Take this in the best way possible. Premium Grape, you're like Hamilton. You win every time, and although you're a fantastic driver, sometimes we want a little bit of variety here in the booth. But, yeah, as we go on the final lap here, Premium Grape, all he has to do is just cruise the car, hope he doesn't get in the wall. And yeah, the race is won for him. He just has to not be stupid in these closing laps, and he
Don't do
has
what
the
Dr.
race for
Kitten did.
himself. Exactly. Kit.
Well, this was a very exciting race. I do have to say so myself.
It was. There was a couple of dull points, but in the end, it shaped together to be quite a fantastic show to watch. The lap 1 incident was crazy, and we are going to hear from the drivers after about what happened there. But wow, yeah.
Yeah.
What a race. What a race.
That was a nice battle with Kitten Petter and Swarner and Dr. Skyman Premium, even though Kitten ended up wrecking it after he had the move done on Swarner. He would have stayed in front, but he wrecked it. Unfortunate.
Very, very unfortunate. Meanwhile, we're going to ride on board with your race winner, Grape, for the last couple of corners. Again, I keep saying race winner, and I don't know if you people know the commentator's curse, but I do believe that he is going to come home to take the victory today.
Kitten Petter, 10-second time penalty! No! He's going to get passed by Airborne and possibly W.
What did
W
he...
can... Nah, I don't think he'll get passed by W.
What did he possibly miss? I don't even know.
Corner cutting. He corner cut and got 10 seconds.
Well, but anyways, Premium Grape is going to come home today to take his third win on the trot, the hat trick itself. Going to take the victory in Singapore. Look at the fireworks go off as he goes down the straight. Great drive from Premium Grape. He kept it out of the wall. He kept it clean and consistent. And now right behind him, in the Ferrari, D-Crime's going to come home to take second. He's not going to be happy about that. He knew he was on for a win today. And unfortunately, it's just going to be second place. And meanwhile, Swarner come home in third place. And after what happened to him today, that was also a great recovery drive from him himself. Meanwhile, Kitten Petter, 17 seconds back. Again, he's going to finish fourth place because of that stupid penalty. But the cat himself in the McLaren, yeah, he's going to come home to fifth place for sure. Maybe even sixth place. Yeah, Airborne Tiger, yeah, he finishes fifth. And the W is going to come home in sixth place. Fifth place, maybe? Sixth place. Wow, 4/10. Barely. Kitten Petter hold on to the fifth place. So still a good result for him, to be quite honest, but I'm sure he was hoping for more in this race. Meanwhile, Dre Diggy's going to come home for seventh place. He also had a tough one. He was also, honestly, the way this race folded out, he could have been on the podium or maybe even challenging for the win. But unfortunately, he had his mistake during the interchanging conditions. As special OPS, ninth, come ninth. Bad race for him. He could have done a lot better today as well, but he had his own incidents. Clueless in the Red Bull, they're going to score a point, but you know they're still going to be last in the championship, unfortunately, not showing their best potential today. And Grassa as well is going to come home to finish 11th place in this race, and that's going to be the grid for the Singapore GP. I'm going to invite our folks to the party so we can hear their say on the race. So just give me a second here. Hold on a second. All fine.
I do not know what happened.
We're going to watch as Premium Grape holds up the trophy for P1 in this race. What a fantastic podium for the man himself. Almost Kvyat-esque, as in Germany. Okay, alright, Premium. Hold on a second. Let's wait till we get everyone in here. Wait for that, and then we'll ask you guys the questions of the race.
I am suggesting everyone.
Alright, perfect. Suggest everyone needs to join, and then I'll invite him. Suggest Secret as well, because I do want to hear his opinion on the incident. So I'm going to help invite some people. Perfect.
So I am out of the lobby, but that does not matter, I guess. But, well, at least I didn't miss any racing. Cool. My internet never goes out. It does not happen there, but...
Meanwhile, I'm just going to do a quick race rundown. Premium Grape in the Toro, so takes P1 after starting 6th in the grid with 2 stops in the intermediate conditions. What a fantastic drive for him, keeping it out of the wall. D-Crime in the Ferrari, unfortunately, he couldn't capitalize on his fantastic track position. He comes home second place with Swarner rounding out the podium in third. Followed by his teammate in the Renault of Airborne Tiger in fourth with Kitten Petter in the McLaren in fifth. W in sixth, Dre Diggy in seventh after a disappointing race in which he could have finished on the podium as we mentioned. Woodsy Boys come home in eighth, the Canadian himself in the Mercedes with Clueless in ninth in the Red Bull and Grassa in 10th. Meanwhile, Special OPS in the Haas comes home in 11th place after 19 seconds of penalties, and everyone else, I believe, did DNF. But wow, what a race from everyone here. First of all, I just want to make sure everyone here has their voice on sharing. Otherwise, the world will not be able to hear you. So please make sure that your voice is on sharing, and that way we can hear your opinion of the race. Everyone good? Everyone's all set?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, perfect. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with Sequit. And the reason why I'm going to start with you is because you had quite an interesting start, if I do say so myself. Just run us through what happened, because we kind of missed it because we were riding on board with someone else, and unfortunately when it happened we weren't able to see all the angles. But what did cause you to spin and hit the wall and ultimately retire from the race?
I don't know who was in front of me, the two drivers in front of me, but their braking zones are much different from mine. So I, just got caught out by one. I think it was Ferrari. Got caught out by his braking zone, hit the back of him, and just spun out. I got taken out by one of the people coming through the back of the field.
Now, did your car actually have terminal damage, or did you choose to retire the car?
Oh no, my car was completely screwed.
Okay. And
I had my front right tire blown off.
Is there anything you could have done to avoid the incident, or do you think it was just pure unlucky?
Just unlucky, Happens, but Britain's next week, so I'm happy for that.
Yeah, again, I was really thinking you had the potential to win the race, considering of your strategy starting on the medium compound, but...
yeah, I'm starting to really think I should have just gone on the softs.
Yeah, we did see that the rain did come early.
If I would have known that the rain was going to come that early, I thought it was just going to be for a little bit. Probably would have done a soft run because I most likely...
Yeah.
I was doing 35 ones and 35 twos earlier in the day, but I didn't think it was going to rain in the race at Singapore, so tough luck.
Yeah, what a shame. But anyways, we're going to move on to our third place finisher of Swanner. You had quite an up and down race today. You qualified on pole, did eventually actually lose it to D-Crime in the Ferrari throughout the race, and then in the intermediate conditions, your team put you on the medium tire. Run us through what was going on in your mind and how you're able to somehow recover for a podium after that unfortunate error.
Yeah, that was a mess. Jeff gave me the strategy option, that lap to go put on the intermediate tires. Okay, well, let's go do it. Go in the pits, and I realized I didn't select the strategy, and I tried to change it in time. Driving out the pits, I'm like, I gained time on darkest, and I look at my tires, and they're yellow. So, yeah, lost a whole bunch of time. Got back, put the mediums on, drove up to Kitten in third, got disconnected from the lobby, joined back, and then somehow capitalized on his mistake for a podium.
Yeah, that was quite interesting to see unfold. Again, you were on. I thought you had the potential to win, especially after seeing D-Crime's pace and how easily Premium Grape caught him. But are you happy with your result, or do you think it could have been more?
Oh, I mean, for sure it could have been more. I was flying in the wet, and yeah, I was hoping for a wet race the whole weekend because I just like racing in the rain, and but driver errors and stuff, that simple mistakes can cost a lot of points, and I think I lost out on a few here today.
Very, very true. Well, in the end, you did come home for third place, so podium. No one's ever been upset about a podium, unless you're Sebastian Vettel in the 2019 Canadian Grand Prix. Moving on to our second place finisher of D-Crime. So you were leading the race most of the time until the second to last lap, where going into the middle of Sector 2, I believe you locked up and hit the wall. But you were on for your first win of the season. So how did that happen? That's all I'm going to ask. How did that happen?
Driver error. I was trying to change the RS, just lost. Broke way too late, locked up, hit the wall, had my front wing, half of it, luckily, and I was able to finish the race. It was just damage limitation at that point.
I do believe this is actually your best result of the season so far, so, in that ends, it is a positive, but, when faced with the fact that you could have had a win today, are there any positives that you could possibly take out of this race?
I got good points. That's all. That's the main.
But Kitten now in the championship.
And obviously, you're looking for the win, but I do think that for you personally, this is a bit of a momentum change because it is a second place, despite the fact you did lose the race. Unfortunately, when you were able to come home for second place. Obviously, you could have wished it would have been a win, but is there anything you could have done differently to avoid the crash? Do you think it was just simply a very quick lapse in judgment or lapse in concentration?
It was just me just changing ERS too late. I focused on changing ERS. I didn't realize how quickly the breaking point was coming. If I would have changed it like after the hairpin, I would have been fine. But it just didn't go to plan. I locked up, and that's really what happened. Driver error.
Well, yeah. Again, that incident eventually did allow our race winner to come home to take the win, and we're gonna move on to him now. Third win on the trot, the hat trick itself. What's your reaction to that absolutely insane race? You're fine. Don't worry about it. Now, we do know that you did get the win because of D-Crime's misfortune, but do you think that you would be able to get by him off pure pace and pure racecraft itself? Ah. But you were catching him by almost a second a lap up until that point, so you definitely had a pace advantage. But I understand your point in the sense that he had great traction throughout the race. But again, great race from the Austin booth from that standpoint. It was spectacular as always to watch you folks tackle the tough conditions of Singapore. So we're gonna end it off here. I am gonna just ask everyone if they can really quickly just give me a 3-word race review, something I always like to do. It can be any 3 words to describe your race today, whether they be good or bad. So we'll start off with Sequit. Despite it was a very short-lived race, what's your 3-word race review?
That race sucked.
That race sucked. Coming from you, I completely understand that viewpoint.
I'm so pissed off right now that I'm already training for Britain. I'm really not. I'm not trying to be cocky or nothing, but I'm not gonna. If I lose Britain, I'm throwing my hands up because I'm lost right now, physically, mentally. I need to talk. I'm lost.
But anyways, let's move on to our 3rd place finisher, Swarner. What's your 3-word race review?
I got to go with one big mess because it was.
I like that.
That was a good one.
Anyways, that is a good one. I do have to say. Let's move on to our 2nd place finisher, D-Crime. Your 3-word race review.
Oh.
Well, you guys have to repeat that again because we did not hear that.
Lag.
Oh.
Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties.
Yikes. All right. You want to give us one more try, D-Crime?
He's trying. You can hear the little snippets.
Give us quiet.
Let's just say this. Everybody, what do you think? We should all do a 3-race review for D-Crime. I should have won. There you go.
I should have won. I hate ERS. ERS sucks. That's 2 words.
Oh, that's cruel. Oh, that's just that. Thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. I had a Williams give me a good old kiss in the side of my front tire. It was kind of hefty.
Premium stop winning. That could be yours as well.
Premium, listen. Okay, wait until Britain next week. Grape is Hamilton. Grape is Hamilton. I want my one with premium on Britain. Don't call him Lewis Hamilton. Stop it. I'm in the Mercedes.
He's rubbing salt in the wound.
Oh, now he doesn't like. Say your 3 words.
Great. Almost had it.
Almost had it.
Oh,
Perfect.
There
it's
you
alright,
go.
bud.
All
I never
right.
had it, didn't I?
All right. Anyways, let's move on to grape for the final three race review, and then we'll end it off here. Never give up.
Oh, this is so
What a
cute.
quote.
Oh, it's not winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, that was that. That's.
Well, that's 4 words. So,
should've-
anyways, everyone,
My ears hurt.
thank you for joining again for this broadcast of the TCR Season 8 Golden Class of the Singapore GP. We will be back next week for the for round 5, I believe. Yes, round 5 at Silverstone. In the UK itself, the home of Formula One. Thank you all for joining. Again, everyone, make sure to tune in tomorrow for the Platinum Class round. I believe it's at 8 o'clock. Everyone, make sure you tune in. Again, same track as tonight, Singapore, and we will see you then. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening.